Rotation. No, it's not. I'm saying it's not. Okay, guys, we are back. Oh, that's my face. Okay. um. Wow. I'm so sorry. We're having technical difficulties here.
Oh my god, that's so funny.
So my camera person stopped filming. But we're back, and so I've finished preparing her nails, and I glue tips. I like to glue my tips like following the natural nail curve, from one end to the other. I'd rather the tip be bigger than too small. So then I go in and I use my form to help make sure that they're all the same size. So I go ahead and ask how long they would like them to be.
The usual.
Do we do the S or the one in between?
I think we do the one in between, no? Yeah.
So then once we have decided on a size, I go ahead and cut the rest. This is just a trick that I use, and I feel like it helps. Let me just do this hand real quick. And then, so you're doing stiletto?
Yes.
So she's doing stiletto, so I'm just gonna remove the corners to help me with filing. I don't like to remove too much because sometimes it messes my shape up. So I'm just gonna go in and remove a tiny bit of the corners. Make sure you don't cut your client. And then they're gonna look something like this. I'm gonna grab my file all the way from in here and start shaping her nail to coffin. She likes them pretty pointy, so I'm going to bring them all because if you wanted to, you could you know, make them a little bit rounder, but she likes them pointy, so.
That I do.
On this part, I don't know if you can see, but I turn my file, my hand this way, and it helps me really get into the side. So, see? So I'm gonna do it again from the top, just because I like to remove those little corners. Kind of start making it a coffin shape first. Turn my file and then go in at the tip. If you see, I'm turning it in farther this way and also this way instead of like straight. It's at an angle, and that just helps remove the bottom part of the tip so that it comes to a point. Again. Relax your hand. Okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead and dust. After I shape them, I go in with Bond Aid and my primer. I put the Band-Aid first just to clean the nail surface, and then primer. So I'm going to do her other hand, and then we'll be back for the encapsulation. We're live again. Okay, so we're back, and now I have. She's making me do this fucking design. I don't know what to do. But anyways, she wants this foil on her nails. I'm gonna pick up a really small bead of clear gel just to use it as a base for my foil to stick on. Oops. Foil is fun and not fun to work with at the same time because it has like, you know, its tendencies and whatever, but gives a cool effect and cool design. So I'm gonna give her what she wants. I'm gonna put these damn little foils in here. She picked this copper color. So yeah, so we're gonna do this. I pick it up with my brush, like with like the liquid that's on it. I don't put any more liquid, just with whatever's on it. So it's gonna look something like that. While that one's drying, I'm gonna work on this middle one. I'm going to create a what do you call this? I'm gonna give her like a
Not a clue.
I don't know what it's called. I guess I'm just gonna create a colored like French. I don't know, man, but
I thought it was pretty, and I know she could do it. So
we'll see. Cause I'll be getting a lot of anxiety.
she's so full of it. No.
So basically covering the nail bed part of her nail, I guess you would say, not the extension part. It's funny, when I learned my nail design, I learned a lot of it in Spanish, so I don't know what the hell you would call this, but you can shape it as whatever shape you want. I'm kind of digging this shape. Do you like it?
Love it.
So yeah, so just try to get it as nice and flat and even all around. Add anywhere you need to. I'm gonna let that dry because then I'm gonna go in and file it just to like perfect it. So now I'm going to encapsulate with the clear. I like to do 2 to 3 bead method because that's how I like to work. I feel that I give the optimum shaping with that. I can't speak today, you guys. I'm sorry. Some people like to do 1 bead method, whatever you like. Just remember that it's all about controlling the monomer, that's the liquid, to powder ratio, depending on what system you're using. As much liquid as you use will usually determine how big your beads can be and how fluidy your powder, your gel, well, not gel, but the consistency of it when you're putting it on the nail. I don't know, what would you say this is? This is not like a gel, it's like a, what would you call this?
Kind of like residue of sorts.
I don't know. It's like not cream. But anyways, so yeah, you're gonna look like that. This one we're just gonna encapsulate normal because I'm pretty sure she's gonna do bling. So again, I put another and a second coat of primer. I dip into my monomer, and then I pick up a bead. I like to place it on the center of my nail. Now I'm pointing the nail down just so that gravity helps and drags the product down, and then I use like the belly part of my brush to flatten the product. See? So again, another bead. This is going to be smaller. This is up closer to her cuticle area. Again, I flatten it and then I sweep it down. Make sure it's not touching any of her cuticle or her skin. Relax your finger out. Might not be in the shot, but again, I'm just picking up a tiny bit now because this is just like the super top part right next to her cuticle area. And then I use like the flat side of my brush to clean all around. I'm just going to pick up a tiny bit wherever I feel like I need more. Looks like the tip is missing. Okay, so I'm just going to put these little pieces up a little bit more. These are super annoying to work with just because they stick to everything, but anyways. Cap your stuff just because when you file you don't want powder to fall back into it, but I'm just going to use the file to, like how I said, perfect the shape. I'm just going to file around again like this. Okay, and then I'm just going to open my stuff again, and I'm going to go in with the clear, picking up a tiny bit. It's just to help with the sticking of the foils. I mean, yeah, right? What is this?
Your foil, huh?
Mm-hmm. A little bit more acrylic. I'm gonna see if I can rub this even further to tiny pieces. Put like at the tip of her nail. I'm like barely picking up any acrylic. Okay, so while that one dries a little bit, again, I'm just gonna go put another coat of primer. Go into my clear powder on the center of the nail. Again, point the nail down to have gravity help you, and work the product all the way to the tip. That should give you like a super even like coat. And again, pick up another bead and work at the top. Now, if you are comfortable with doing it with one bead method or whatever you like, go ahead. Like I said, I have my preference. I just pick up very small amounts. So you see I'm pressing it to the sides and then I'm sweeping it down. Making sure everything is stuck on her cuticle. So let's some acrylic right here as well. And liquid. Okay, so now that this one's like dried, I'm gonna go in and encapsulate this stuff. Picking up a bead. This one I'm gonna be working like the opposite direction. I'm pushing it up, still with the belly of the brush, and then I'm lifting it the opposite direction. So instead of going down, it's going up. If it looks a little crazy, it's okay because we're gonna file it. Right here, I'm just placing the bead completely different from how I normally place it, just because I need to I need to fill the tip, and I don't want to put like a flat bead, so I turn my brush this way. So looks kind of good. Now you just want to check the sides. You see right there. I'm just gonna put a tiny bit on my brush. Turn it out to this side, and you see right there. Just pick up a tiny bit. From there. And while spraying works. Okay, so I'm just gonna show you guys the thumb. Again, another coat of primer. So here I'm dipping my brush. I want a big bead, so I'm picking up like a good amount. When you touch the sides of the glass, that just helps eliminate some of the liquid. If you go like this, it has a bunch, you see? Drip, drip. But when you touch the sides, it removes some of it. I don't know how that works, but it does. So
Magic.
And then I put it in the powder, and you see I'm moving the brush down. That is what picks up the product. Put it in the center of the nail and flatten it down. Again, I didn't just dip it in here. I pulled the product. I pulled the brush down, and that picks up the product. So here we go again. Flatten my bead and then drag it down. Okay. Pick up another bead. Place it at the top. Push it from side to side. And drag it down. Perfect. Now I'm going to put some on the tip, because if you see sideways, I don't know if you can see. Relax your hand up. You see? Oh, she just needs it on the tip. I'm going to pick up a bead, and instead of putting it flat, I put it this way. I don't know, that just works for me. Because like I said, it's at a point, so if it was a square shape, I would have just placed the bead flat. And I just feel like it needs a little bit more right here. Okay, and this hand is ready. So I'm going ahead and do the same to the other side, and we'll be back. Okay guys, we're back. Sorry, I have to, this is my first time going live, so don't judge me. But so it's all done. I did the other hand, and you can tap with your file to make sure that they're fully dry. If they don't make a noise, that means they're not dry. So I like to pull down on the sides right here. because we can get in there, you know what I'm saying? So, again, just removing a little bit of the acrylic that travels down. But if you do really good encapsulating, it shouldn't be a lot of filing. It's very fast. So again, I just like to make sure that the skin is removed on the sides, and I just go in and file. Very easy. Just relax your hands. There we go. So my client is recording, so thank you so much. Sorry. Relax, relax. There we go. I think it's kind of trippy for you because you're like trying to see, and at the same time you want to see your hand.
It's a weird thing because I'm looking through the actual phone, but I'm still trying to peek through the corner. So I think that's where my hands tense up.
Because you're usually never this hard. Okay. So I go in and I follow the slides, and now with my drill bit, I am going to go in and file. I like not very. I like this is almost medium speed. So I'm gonna use my hand like these to grab her thumb so that I can move it this way. I mean, you can move her hand like this if you want, but I'm just gonna really get into this side, so I like to turn her hand this way. And what I like to start is I start off around the cuticle area with like my file like this, not flat or just with the edge. Let me turn this off. Okay, so this is a drill bit, so like that. You see? That's literally how I remove the cuticle area. And then, can you see it flat kind of? Okay. Then you'll see that with like the rest of the drill bit, I go like this, and that just like evens it out. So with this, the tip, it's kind of to shape around the cuticle, and then like this to flatten. So yeah, sometimes I'll go like this just because I want to like do minor, slight perfection. It's really just getting used to it. Be very careful not to cut them. I usually don't cut them, but sometimes I will cut them, but very rarely. Sometimes people do have very sensitive cuticle, but it's just practice. And I'm not pushing hard. I don't know if she can tell, but it's very light hand. Do you feel like my hand's light?
Yeah.
Right?
I think, honestly, in the last, 2 years, she's cut me maybe once, but I think my hands were super dry back then.
It could be. Always blame the client. Again, I'm just going around the cuticle area. You see, this way I'm going flat. So, again, I'm just going to turn. I like to look at the nail sideways just to make sure that it is perfect. I look at every angle. I'm always turning the hands. It just makes it that much better. If you have to be moving your client's hands, or else you're gonna cut them. And yeah, try to remove as much lines as you can. And there you go. Perfect. So again, I'm gonna go in and remove the cuticle area. I like the cuticle area to be really flat, and then kind of it works like this. Like, I don't know if that makes sense, what I'm trying to say. I mean, it's all aesthetics, and I just have my preference of how I like my nails to look. Some people like them to have like a big bulge in the middle. It just really depends.
No bulge.
Everybody has like a different preference. Some people like it. I really don't. I like them to look very like even. Again, going around the cuticle, just removing some of the weight that's in the middle of her nail because she does not like that bulge.
No.
So I don't either. We are nail mates here.
I pretty much let her do whatever she wants.
So you see the side profile of her nails. It's quite perfect. I know. So I'm just gonna do the other ones, and then I'm gonna go over this one because this one's gonna be just a little bit more delicate, just because we don't want to ruin our reverse technique, I think it's called. Oops. This is the encapsulated, but can't really fuck this one up because it's not like it's just like encapsulated leaves. It's not like shaped or anything into a design. So here, the middle finger, again, I'm going to start by going around the cuticle area. I'm kind of holding the drill bit flat, and that helps to remove like any like bumps that the nail might have. So see, it's starting to look better. I think that looks pretty good.
Looks good to me.
Well, yeah. Pretty good sideways. Okay. Just some final adjustments. Okay. And then once I am done drilling, going with your buffing square, whatever, and just be very careful because sometimes this little motherfucker is like the one that cuts them, I swear.
Especially when they're new.
I know. I always try to remove my best is to relax your fingers because you're pushing up.
That's fine.
See? So,
there you go.
There we go. You want to remove these sharp edges. Again, relax your hand. There we go. I kind of push a little bit at the top like this, but on the sides I try to be very light, like not put like any type of like super hard pressure, because this is like a sanding band, and sanding bands do produce heat, so you want to be careful not to burn them. What's my handy dandy tester? I go in with isopropyl alcohol and a little cotton square cotton thing, and this is how I clean the nails. And now it's super ready for whatever you want to do, like gel and whatnot. Make sure they don't touch their face anymore, and then you're ready for the final designing part. So I'm going to do her other hand, and we'll be right back.
Yep, you're live.
Okay, we're back, guys, and we picked Miami Slant for the rest of her nails. Might as well. We're gonna do crystals on these, right? Because they really matter.
Yeah.
So it's really pretty new color. So just apply a nice even coat all around the nail. And around the point of the nail. Clean the edges. Application is really important. Nobody wants a wompy job. I mean, buffer got you. And then on the other twos, I'm just gonna do a regular clear coat. You never want the gel to be on the cuticle, so make sure you're careful around the cuticle area. Okay, I'll go ahead and put that in there. So it's 2 coats of color. I'm gonna top coat, but I'm gonna do the rest of her hand, and then last thing we'll show is putting on the crystals. So we'll be back. Okay, so we're back, and I'm going to do some bedazzling. I have my Swarovski crystals, my resin and resin activator, because we're doing it on top of gel. So I have permission to go crazy, so I'm gonna put my resin, pick up my stone, and set it where I want it. It's my little tool to help. With resin, you do have some time to work with it. Well, when it's on gel, I feel. I'm just going to put more resin around just because we want them to stay on here forever. Forever. Okay? last one right here. Okay, so then I spray him, and that's just gonna help activate the resin. Be careful you don't get shit on them like I just did. Okay, so that's that one. This one I'm only gonna do 2. Like that. A little spritz. That is the activator is to help harden the resin. Whatever, I don't know. I don't make up these rules, guys. I just have to follow them. So for this one, we're gonna do. I want to do something kind of cool with this. Okay, what shape should I do? I'm thinking like. Did I do something like this already?
I don't think so. I would remember.
Something like that one. Oh, you know what? I like this one. You like that one?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we have that one here. So this is where it's good that we have time to like work with it, because we need some time to adjust the crystals so that they're perfect. On here, I'm gonna put these because I think they might help with the way these larger crystals are shaped. It's kind of like off the nail bed right there. Put some resin in the middle of that. This is just gonna help keep our crystals on longer. And then of course we spray. So again with my alcohol and my little wipe, these are done. So I'm just gonna clean these off. And I'm going to put the top coat on these. Go around the crystals. Clean the sides. I like to clean the top of the crystals like that a little bit. Cleaning the edges. And now we're going to do this one. Okay, I'll put that in there. Just gonna put them in there for 60 seconds. And I'm just gonna show you what one hand looks like so that we can get our show on the road here. But I hope you guys liked the video. Sorry it's a little bit weird, but
I'm not showing your face.
it's okay. I know it's weird because it's like live, so I can't like show everything because then it would take forever. But yeah, so cure it for 60 seconds. Let me know when it's 60 seconds. And then, as you know, you have to remove the sticky residue on top. And I always put a little bit of cuticle oil, and you're done. So let me know when it's 60 seconds. How's that? 57, 52, what is that? 53, 54. Oh my god, oh my god.
Almost there. Okay, there.
Okay, go ahead and give me your hand. Here we have it, guys. Oh, Dunsies, forgive her. She is really dry.
Just
Gotta,
this.
gotta put some all the way on your knuckles and everything.
I know. That's why I come for the service. Come on now.
Look at this. I'm gonna charge you extra for this kid. Go ahead and give me the camera.
Your hands all night. So yeah, this is what they look like. I have better lighting over here. Her theme. Go ahead and turn your hand around, honey. So pretty. My client's me. My client's me. My client's me. I hate it. And then, you know, just some side action. So, alright, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye. Where do I end that?